is Amy Pitt, and you're listening to the Devil You Know podcast. If you don't like this, why don't you write your concerns down on a piece of paper, and I'll swing by your place and shove that fucking paper up your ass!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 66 of The Devil You Know. I am Warlock Dorian Gray. With me is my friend and co-host, of course, Reverend John Shaw.
All right, how's it going, man?
What's up, man? It's time to get evil with 66.
That's right. You know who we got on the line?
Execute order. Who we got?
We have to talk about the Reverend Cardone Nude Witch review event that just happened. To reflect on that a bit is Reverend Adam Cardone and Magus Peter H. Gilmore. How you doing, gentlemen?
Oh, yeah, wonderful. Man.
Howdy. Greetings from NYC.
Welcome to the first episode.
Oh,
sorry. Go ahead.
No.
I was saying welcome to the...
excited.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Take 3.
So, what did you, I mean, I'm sure you heard a little bit about it online. I'm curious.
We didn't hear enough. Let's just start from the beginning. I mean, you told us a little bit about, you were on the show once and told us what was happening. Tell us everything about it. Tell us beginning to end.
Yeah, one of the things I noticed on Facebook was, like, after a conclave, boom, pictures all over the place. Everybody knew it happened. Everybody. There's two things. I didn't see any titties or anything. What's going on?
Well, there was limited photography. I didn't want people shooting photos the whole time.
Well, thanks for that.
I think I could buy it. It was kind of a whirlwind night. It just, people were really in it, like they were there and present, and I think the social media part was actually excluded, which kind of was cool.
No, yeah.
Well, you set up the concept of them really turning off their devices before it began.
Oh yeah,
and it's
I didn't want
kind of what Anton LaVey would have wanted. Really be in the moment. Yeah. And don't be fooling around with something to mediate between you and the experience. So they weren't able to take pictures, and that was pretty good.
Yeah, I actually said turn your phones off. Like, turn them off. Go in, and unless you're a policeman or a medical worker, you don't want any. And people did. I mean, I'll tell you what, starting from the end and going to the beginning, I got some of the... I've been doing shows for 20 years. No, more than that. And I got some of the best feedback for anything I've ever done from this, ever. Like, when I woke up the next day, 40, 50, 60 emails, texts, people just saying that they not only had fun, but it actually hit them, in the head, which is what I wanted.
And below.
Nice.
Yeah. And below the belt, yes.
I would think, yeah.
But, I mean, and I was talking to some of my friends who who are not members, and they were like, look, man, when you go see a play... Yeah, you can hit a catharsis and it can feel you. But something like this, the ritual element, it does something different to you. People bring something different. When you go see a play, you bring your attention. There were members there that brought things from dead members. There was 2 I met to, like, put them on the altar and stuff. Like, so I don't even know where to start. It was such a crazy night. Well, it started off, literally, it's just like, I wanted to do a book release for the Satanic Warlock, and then it was like, let's do a burlesque show. And Magister Bob was like, yeah, let's do a burlesque show. And I was like, look, I don't want it to be a burlesque show. There's too many freaking burlesque shows.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care anymore. It's overkill at this point.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of burlesque. Most of it sucks. There's a few good ones, but basically it's the same old, same old. So I said, you know what? Fuck that. I want to do a ritual that has burlesque in it, as opposed to a burlesque show with some ritual elements. I wanted to be heavy on the ritual part, because that's what people really want. If I polled people what they'd rather go to, a ritual or a burlesque event, they're going to say ritual.
Yeah. I do the talks at the colleges, and one of the questions I get from everyone is, can I come and see you do a ritual?
Yeah. Everyone wants to see it. Everyone wants to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So for me, like, I needed to make it really fucking good, or I didn't want to do it. Like, it was like, they have to come to this and go, okay, that was fucking cool. Like, I don't care who you are, where you're coming from, Church of Satan member or not. I needed it to be bang zoom powerful.
Yeah.
So I spent almost 3 months like going bonkers trying to like. I basically, and Peter knows this, I overproduced and then cut down. That's my system. I go hog wild, I overproduce, and then I start snipping out the nonsense and making it streamlined. And I think it worked, you know?
Yeah.
So it was a ritual. I guess you could say it was a straight up traditional ritual, with my own flavor a bit. And then
it was essentially a lust ritual. That was the primary concept.
Yeah.
Because that's why the burlesque fits in so well. When we did the high mass at 6606, it was a high mass because we did lust, compassion, and destruction.
Yes.
This was focused specifically on lust.
This was awesome. And I'll tell you what, Peter, you had one of the coolest moments because when we did, and mind you, we didn't really rehearse because I don't rehearse. I mean, I do variety shows, so I show up, day of show, everybody looks at each other, talks about what they're going to do, and then we pull it off. And that's what we did. I mean, I did so much pre-prep and talked to everybody that everybody knew what they were supposed to do, so we could do a talk through and do it, and it worked. So Peter, we had this piano player, Chris Johnson, and Peter, you said, how long do you want that piano to go before I give you the cue to start? And I think I said, just, feel it out, right? And it was amazing how long you let it go. Like, he let the piano go on for a while. And it was great because I was like, did he forget? And then I was like, no, he didn't forget. He's a musician and a composer, and he wants everybody to hear the piece, which is...
Yeah. No, you had to get to the piece. And when the harmonies were right, we're getting sort of a preparatory section that was going to lead to a transition. Suddenly, then was the time to bring you in.
Exactly. And I was so happy because it was not rehearsed, which is cool. It was like jazz, It was just live. And Peter...
It was a freeform ritual odyssey.
It was, and it worked. It was fucking tight. And like, and not only was the ritual parts, I felt them. I was getting goosebumps. I had, again, like the wait staff at the slipper room, they were getting goosebumps. And then the girls that I'd hired, I wanted the best of the best. I didn't want any bullshit. I wanted people that traveled far away to say, oh my God, I just saw literally the best burlesque dancers in New York City. And I got them because I'm friends with them. Like, I've worked with them.
No, that was really impressive. They were all really top notch.
Yeah, top notch.
And unique. They were unique.
They all have their own specialty. And if you've seen burlesque before, these chicks blow it out of the water. Like, they know how to do it. And then it was just a perfect night. And like, I think it was, from my end, I was losing my mind because I was doing everything and running around like a chicken with his head cut off.
Yeah.
But everybody did their part, like, and then, Peter, you got up and did your bit, and like, we all know what that does. That's as fiery as it gets.
Yeah.
So, I mean, literally, like, people had goosebumps. People were fucking yelling. I had friends in the back that weren't members, and they were like, holy shit, like, people
I could actually say from experience from the last Devil's Reign that my wife and Jared's wife were there, and when Peter was doing his part, they were like, oh wow, these guys actually do this whole Hail Satan Shemham.
Yeah.
You can feel it. I can see my wife and his wife look at each other like, whoa.
Yeah. No, and when it's done right, it works, It charges you. Oh, here's something interesting. So I put in the back the wishing area, and basically it was a little area set up in the back, a little altar that you could go back and write a wish and burn it in the black candle or the white candle.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know how many people would do it.
Oh, and it was flash paper. Yeah, it was set up so that there was a Sharpie and flash paper, and it was at the back of the theater so that when people came in, it was a whole separate little ritual area with like a whole little altar. It was very classy. Because the whole place was classy. It's like an old vaudeville theater with a wonderful tall proscenium arch that's very detailed and beautiful, like fading damask wallpaper and sconces, tin ceilings. It's totally a wonderful ritual chamber. The entire place, and that includes the whole thing, not just the stage. So that when people came in, suddenly there was this wonderful little area that they could go off in, and they were told, if you want to express your fondness, his desires, you can either throw a curse or a blessing, or do both if you like. And then there was a little dagger for them to, after they wrote their thing, to stick it in the flash paper and then burn it in the one candle or the other. And then it was up to me when my part came to kind of sum up the fact that this would be happening and sort of put my blessing and impetus on their desires to go out and change the world according to their wills.
Well, did you see the line to do it? That's the
so
thing. I was
cool.
like, there was a line.
Yeah.
People wanted to go do it, and one of the members, there was people that brought stuff from dead members to put on that altar to leave for the ritual. Like, it was pretty. I tell you what, I got choked up at the end when it was all done. At the end, I wrote this short little thing to say at the end. Very short little briefing right before I rang the bell at the end. I got choked up. I was pretty overwhelmed by the support I got from members and non-members, and I mean Debbie Harry showed up.
Oh, that's real cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dude from Bob's Burgers was there. The mom. Yeah. I mean, come on. The fuck. Yeah. I mean, really, it was like I was like, I looked down and I saw all my favorite people in the front row, and my friends and members and non-members and people coming from far away, and I was like, and then the after party was fun as hell too.
So before we get to the after party, during this thing, what was your, you said that they took it pretty well, the non-members.
Yeah.
Oh, the people who came up to me afterwards said, I'm a Roman Catholic, but I have a much deeper appreciation of Satanism and its depth. And I got into saying, "Hail Satan" during the whole thing.
Yeah, I heard that. Somebody was saying that. Yeah.
Wow.
And, well, there you go. Like, that's it right there. Like.
So, Adam, take us through maybe step by step, like things that happened and things that pop out.
Exactly. So basically, I started off with this simple little intro, thanking everybody, and then I wanted to do a roll call at the beginning of the hierarchy of the members. There was a bunch of us there, and I also wanted the non-members to see that not only did we have members there, but there is actual hierarchy.
Yeah.
And we did that, and ending with Peter coming in, and he was the last one to be hailed. Mm-hmm. And then the ritual started, and I wanted Peter to be like literally the maestro. So he cued the gong, he cued the music, he cued me. He started it. He set it forth.
Yeah.
And then I did the bell, the invocation to Satan. I wrote something new for the summoning of the four princes.
Oh,
yeah, very poetic too.
Can you
very
share that
poetic.
now, or that's just for that time?
I can share it maybe, yeah.
Oh,
and I also
right.
wrote something. I wanted to write something before Shemhem Forash, Hail Satan.
Yes.
To make it seem more important than just, hey, we say this and everybody repeats it. So I wanted to write a little piece that went before that to make it seem a little bit more powerful.
Right.
So that actually had meaning. So I wrote the summoning of the four crown princes of hell. Let's see if I can remember, because I memorized it. Oh yeah.
I look to the south and see the Lord of fire and brimstone. It is he that burns into my will the desire to be a true adversary and a worthy opponent to mine enemies. Lord Satan, I thank thee for your guidance. To the east, I see the morning light that shines upon the lies and shows me the dawn of truth. Lucifer, your enlightenment fills my eyes with tears of joy as I see where true freedom lies. To the north, I stand tall and proud to have no master but mine own self. There is only one perfect exemplar of liberty and mastery of the earth, and that is Lord Belial, he who kneels before no one. And then I gaze to the west, and I witness what true power, beauty, and majesty the deep, vast ocean holds within. Mysteries unfold in the waves of time as the great serpent of the black water confounds conventional strength. Great Leviathan, I thank thee for your manifestation of power and might that fills my heart with the strength to strike hard and the will to forge ahead to greatness. And now, in honor of the four crown princes of hell, I pronounce, or I think I said that night, we pronounce the forbidden word. All those who believe the fictional lies, now is the time to hear with clarity and to behold with crystal clear vision. As the dissonant chord spills forth from our mouths, witness it split open those who stand in our way and unlock the gates of hell and the doors to freedom. Shemhem Forash, Hail Satan.
Oh, wow.
So cool. Very good. Very nice.
Okay, wait, listen.
I wanted that to be heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would never want to put that on a T-shirt, but can I get that from you and create an ingot or something like that? Like, it would be amazing to own that.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, I really I spent a long time working on it to make it heavy and theatrical and have meaning for us and someone who didn't know anything about this. I wanted it to be all encompassing for the whole
I'm talking
thing,
like a huge 6-inch piece, a trapezoid of huge one.
Maybe.
And it's metal, and you hang it, and it just says that. And we'll talk about that later. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. The funniest part is when I was writing this, I ran into a quagmire because West is Leviathan, right?
Uh-huh.
And I wanted Leviathan to be powerful just because I live on the beach. Like, for me, that's like the one that I am most interested in. Like, he's the one. So, but technically, East is the ocean for us. LeVay was on the West Coast when he wrote all this, right?
It's actually West, man. You're just standing backwards. That's all. Just turn around.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, wait a second. The ocean's to the East and the West is... It was like a headache because I was like, oh, yeah. But I kept it.
Different ocean. That's all.
Yeah, different ocean. Right?
You're on the west side of the west side of the ocean, of your ocean. That's all. Don't worry about it. It's good.
Wait, what did I do after? Oh, then right after I read that, I introduced Reverend Michael Anthony Mandrake.
Oh, nice.
He read The Conjuration of Lust, Ophelia and her husband, read the male-female part. They stood up in the crowd. And then I immediately introduced Kissa, the first burlesquer, who did a classic burlesque, straight up. Like, nothing different other than traditional kind of corset, old-fashioned burlesque, but done perfect. As good as it gets. Boom.
What music was accompanying her? Like, the music described?
She used a rock and rolly bluesy song.
Okay.
And it was called Blue Veins, I believe. And I wanted that to start the tone of sexy, sultry, dirty, but not too crazy.
And it was classy, too.
Yeah, classy. That's what I wanted. Because the next girl was going to push the envelope. Me and her worked for a long time to get it to what you saw, Peter, because I didn't want it to be trashy or too dirty. I wanted it to be edgy, but not too over the top. And so... her original idea was she was the nude altar. Her name's Penny Wren. I've known her for years. She's laying on the altar the whole time, just chilling out, not moving. She wanted to all of a sudden open her mouth and pull out the rosary so that the audience is like, holy fuck, she had that in her mouth the whole time? Right?
Very
but
nice.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
It didn't work. The rosary was too big. She couldn't fit it in her mouth. She bought the rosaries. They were handmade from nuns in the Lower East Side, which is funny. So then she said, I'm going to do it where I pull it out of my vagina, do this bit, stuff it back in. Right? And I'm like, great, but make it look sexy, not too gross. And she's like, yeah.
Yeah, not like anal beads, like do it nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she rigged, she made it, she had to really problem solve. She made it so the bottom part of the rosary came off and had a magnet. So basically, she pulled the rosary out of her vagina, right? And then played on the table, but you can't see what she's doing. And then she made it look like she stuffed it in, but in reality, she just took the bottom part off, and she had a magnet in her vagina that she stuck it in, right? But you can't see it. Yeah. So then she rolls off the back, grabs some feather fans, slowly walks forward, and just, reveals it dangling. And, dude, it was fucking perfect. I literally almost passed out because it was perfect.
Oh, that's awesome.
It wasn't too gross, right, Peter? It wasn't, gross.
No, it was actually kind of cool. And what was really neat was the idea that she was already as naked as she could be. And, the only clothing was the rosary, which really isn't clothing at all. And then she picks up those black fans. And, having something that she's then using to sort of interfere with your vision of her nudity was kind of this whole intriguing reverse effect that was really cool. It was surprising and impactful. Very good.
Oh, yeah, wow. Very well thought out. And she rehearsed and she created that act just for us. She was
That's
like,
amazing.
I'll make a new. And so that, it was one of the best things. And then, as soon as she was done, I think I read something from the satanic rituals right before her. From the Chort ritual.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, a little short snippet. Then the intermission, people did the wishing thing, drank, And then to bring it back, because I didn't want to start the ritual. So then Magister Bob Johnson wanted to do a bit.
Mm-hmm.
See, he wanted to go at the beginning of the show, but he had this bit where he wanted a girl to strip. And I said, no, we can't have anybody strip at the beginning because it needs to get to that in the ritual.
Yeah, build
So
up.
that's why I put him into Act 2. I said, you're perfect for you do Act 2. The cat's out of the bag. There's already been nudity. You start Act 2 on a light note, you know?
Yeah.
So he did his little Rat Pack bit where he gets on stage and he's smoking, and he had this girl, and he was like telling her to take her clothes off, and she took them off. And it was, educational, funny, dirty, sleazy.
It was kind of like a little bit of a sort of seminar, and she was the demonstration material.
Yes.
So bit by bit, like as he's talking with her, he's like, so take off your top, and and then
she just took it up.
But the thing is, what she'd do is she'd be kind of a little like, should I? This is naughty, and then she'd do it. Yeah. So it was kind of like not like this perfunctory like, yeah, I'm taking my top off. It was kind of like he was commanding her to do it as a powerful warlock, and she was having to acquiesce in this sort of very, I want to play along with this kind of thing. It's fun.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it was kind of because it wasn't like she was being subjugated. It was like she was being led to be naughty, and that was the fun part about that.
Exactly.
Right.
It was fun. It was a really light moment. The whole thing, it was cute and funny and sleazy and elegant all in one ball. It was like great.
Yeah.
And then Act 2, the gong, and then Magister David and Witch Heather did Book of Satan, verse 5, the Blesseds and the Curses.
Okay.
They did that from the balcony. I wanted them to be up.
One from each side. It was antiphonal. It was kind of cool.
And it just echoed down onto the crowd, right?
Yes. That's what I wanted.
Perfect.
I wanted it to be all around, things popping up, because the act that comes right after them. So as soon as they were done, I didn't introduce the next act. It just happened. So the curtain opens, and there's Darren Deicide with his guitar.
Yes.
The wooden guitar, not the electric one, the 1930s guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts playing.
Oh, and interestingly, though, there's a photograph on the altar now.
Oh, yes, right. He is a photograph of a girl, yes. Yes.
And it's sort of like he's playing, and he's summoning up a succubus with his powerful blues music.
Yeah.
And she's in the audience. She's one of the chicks in the audience. And then she creeps on stage and does one of the coolest contortion burlesque acts in the world. Like, she flies all over the place and does this act. I mean, she's really good. But they choreographed it for this show. Like, they met out of, first that act. And let me tell you, I've seen Darren a million times, and this was my favorite ever because of the sound of his guitar in that room. Because that guitar goes in and out of tune. It's old.
Yeah.
It's from 30. So it gets this weird sour sound, and then it goes back into tune, and it's amazing. Yeah. It was truly like one of the coolest things. And she does this bendy stuff where she smokes with her feet. So she lights a cigarette and bends her leg backwards around over her head and takes drags.
Good girl.
She's got a really long cigarette holder, like something a crew would use or something.
Yes, her name's Lillian Lace. And she's from Down Under. She's an Aussie.
Crikey.
Nice.
And she's one of my closest buddies. She's like, me and her are on the phone all the time. Like, she's like my gossip buddy. And she she loved it, every minute of this. And then after that, Reverend Michael Anthony read Enochian 7.
Okay.
English only. I wanted to do the Enochian stuff in the Enochian, but I had an idea that I wanted to do, and I didn't get to do it, which is fine. I'll do it at another event. Kind of like well, I don't want to say. It's a surprise. So we just did it in English.
Can you tell us when, like offline or off record here? Because like you sprung this one on like really fast, and like I was like, damn it, I just got back.
No, off the record, I want to do it.
The following has been removed because it is on a need-to-know basis, and right now, you do not need to know. Thank you.
Is this still off the record? I forgot. Where were we?
No, now we're back on the show.
Okay.
Yeah, last girl is Ekaterina. She was the last nude. Oh, no, then Peter. Oh, yeah, right. So after the Enochian key, I introduced High Priest Peter, Magus Peter H. Gilmore, and he got up. The curtain opened. Now we have a new nude altar, a different one.
Oh.
And then Peter, you did your magic.
Was it brunette?
Nope, also a blonde. Two blondes.
Okay.
As altars, and the rest were brunettes.
All right.
I balanced it. Yeah. No, and then Peter did his brand of magic and lit the room up. Everybody's standing. The Hail Satans were louder than ever. The walls were shaking. You know.
I do
everybody
know. I know.
Yelling at the top of their lungs, Hail Satan. And then there's not much to do after that. You know, it's like, how do you follow that? Well, the only thing I could do is immediately after I introduce Ekaterina as the last nude altar. And she did an aerial. So I read, so that was the thing. I wrote this little piece that's basically, and now I'll have to read this because I don't remember this one. And now our nude altar shows us her true nature. She will deliver to the heavens the sins of the flesh and the pleasures from earth. May the whore of Babylon journey forth to the sky and spread her wings wide so that all can see her beauty and glory. Tonight, our queen harlot is Ekaterina. And then she did an aerial. Full nude aerial.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got an idea. I just had an idea. And I got to spit it out because I'll forget it if I don't say it.
Yep.
Adam, your words are impressive, and they are really heartfelt and really, really dark, and it's great. So when is the Reverend Cardone's ritual book coming out? When is that happening?
Maybe one day I'll write it out in essay form. I mean, yeah, I like doing it. I mean, I never wrote this. I mean, when I was younger, I would rewrite things for my own self, but I didn't really spend time on the poetry part, you know? This was the first time I actually sat down and, like, tried to make it sound, each word have some sort of charge.
Yeah.
So, yeah, eventually I'll write it down. Yeah, I could probably.
No, that'd be amazing. I mean, we all know the satanic rituals and things like that, but I do get a lot of inquiries about help with rituals and things like that, and all these different things. You know, do you know of any other rituals? Because people would just want to try out other rituals. So it would be amazing to have a new official, Church of Satan canon of Book of Rituals.
New stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Peter's book too has new stuff. When I saw that, when Peter, you wrote new stuff, like your how to charge a new ritual artifact or something, like that's great. Like I love that stuff.
Yeah, me
that's
too.
totally cool. I mean, but here's the thing, man. When I read the Satanic Bible, even as a kid, I always thought the summoning of the four princes of hell was the weakest part of that ritual. It was like
you always have to add to it. Yeah, you can't just do that, because you've seen mine. I've elaborated too, and I have like 4 different ways I do it. So you know, it depends on what kind of tone the ritual has as to how you do that section.
Exactly.
But that's kind of cool though, that it's flexible and you can work with it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I tell people when they want to do a ritual. I'm like, well, start writing, because
right.
If it's for you and you write it, it's going to be more charging to you. You know,
yeah, definitely.
Theater for you. So, but I don't mind.
Unless you're a complete illiterate.
Right. There you go.
Dee-dee-dee.
Then this shit's gonna backfire. But yeah, I mean,
all you have obtained.
That was it, man. I read this short little like to beauty, to life, to mystery thing at the end, rang the bell, and that was it. So it's done. I mean, standing ovation, sold out, line down the street, celebrities, lots of Hail Satans, pretty girls, people drinking, people traveling from far away. It was perfect.
Yeah, and Dorian and I missed it. That's awesome.
Yeah, no doubt.
Great.
I mean, it's gonna happen again. I mean, I spent 3 months working on every piece, the poster, this, that, and the other. So I don't want it to. I mean, I want to do it again. I'll do it again. I like doing it, and then the after party was my favorite because I didn't have to worry about anything at that point.
Relax.
Anything worth talking about the after party?
I was making out with 3 chicks at the same time at one point. I got,
Nice. Like a
I don't know,
quadruple
it got
kiss?
crazy.
Pretty good.
It got crazy.
That's cool.
I mean, a lot of people came, like a big group from
Wait a
the
minute.
theater.
What do you mean they came?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was cool. It was like a nightclub that my friends own and work at, and they gave us the night. They gave us like our own little room in the back.
Nice.
And I was dancing. I was dancing around like an idiot most of the night. I was at that point.
Were there non-members at the after party?
There was a few, because when we got there was another event, and then ours, and then late, because I was there till 3 a.m. Oh, geez. There was other people that started coming,
Yeah.
But that was just fun. DJ, old school music, people dancing.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it was.
devil theme songs.
Yes,
Thing,
of
so.
course, yeah.
Yeah.
So the DJ was the singer from my
Devil
band.
inside.
So he hooked it up. We had Go-Go Girls there. We had 2 girls, dancing.
One cup. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that was cool.
Sounds
Yeah.
like an amazing night all
Yeah,
around.
yeah,
It was. I
absolutely.
wanted the after party to be good just because people came from far away.
Yeah.
I felt bad. I was like, oh my God, these people are coming this far. Like, I want the whole night to be good.
So Peter, did you join them in the after party?
I was there for until about 1 in the morning,
Oh, okay.
and then we had a fancy car take us back up to Poughkeepsie, which was very
Nice.
nice.
Oh, very,
Very
cool.
cool.
A caddy SUV that was black on black.
Yes.
Nice. No,
with a retired cop, driving it, who was security as well as a driver. So that was a good thing.
That's great.
Oh, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
I'll shout out to Zoth, Reverend Zoth.
Yeah.
He was my head of security, and he kicked ass.
Nice.
We had him, and we had Sergeant Michael Fox, my friend from the NYPD, and they were great security.
So no trouble at all, though. Nothing. No incident.
Zero.
Perfect.
Zero.
Yeah, and,
Great.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
here's the
No,
scary thing.
that's crazy, though.
I mean, I do shows all the time,
Yeah.
even in that space, and but this is the first time I'd done anything public that had anything to do with Satanism, and it was pretty public. I mean, it was as public as it gets, and so, I mean, I definitely had it run through my head a few times. Someone right in there just started shooting who's ever on stage,
Ugh.
It did cross my mind a few times, so that's why. I was like, fuck that, man. We're having, people get patted down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Full
Totally.
on. They patted everybody.
So when everybody,
it was very secure.
that's great. So when everybody came in, did you guys, close the doors and put the big wooden thing through the from dusk till dawn? You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
you
to
mean
trap
when it was,
them in?
everybody was in the theater?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close
No.
it up? No?
No, you can't do that at that space because there are shows after.
Yeah.
Like, the way they run it there, unless you buy out the whole night, you can't do that. Because
Okay.
there's, there was another show after us, a midnight show.
Yeah, they came in and there was a whole different crowd in there.
Oh, yeah. As soon as we were done, there's a new crowd in. There's a burlesque show there.
Imagine that.
Hey.
Hey, you guys are following a satanic ritual. Good luck. Break a leg. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. So there was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There's a burlesque show, multiple shows every hour from 8, 9 o'clock till 3 in the morning.
Wow.
Every night. Yeah, tomorrow night I'm there at midnight, which is an awful time to start.
No, yeah.
But that's that spot. So, but here's the thing: everybody I know that has seen shows there said that what we did was the best thing they'd ever seen there. They were like, no joke. They were like, that's the slickest, coolest thing that we've seen here.
But the other thing to think of, we've done things more recently in the East Coast, but we've started off on the West Coast at the 6606
Right.
event. And then we were in the United Kingdom for our Hellfire Caves event. So it's not exclusively one particular coast.
Mhm.
We'll do things when the time is right in the right location.
Exactly.
So, but people shouldn't really get the idea that the Church of Satan has to be entertaining them in their, local town, because that's really not how it works.
Right.
It's all about doing things that make sense to be crystallized in particular places. And this in the Slipper Room, since it was this ritual chamber of an old theater, it had the sense of there was real burlesque there originally. This was reviving something that had taken place there. It was a sort of time travel experience, and not just some show that was put on in any old place, which is why it was so magical.
Right.
Yes. Oh, no, that's it. That's why it all worked. It wasn't just one element. It was all the pieces to the puzzle locked together to make the combination lock open. And that's why.
And people will be excited to learn that it has been filmed.
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Tell them about that.
Okay.
That was the Spaniards that came.
Well, they're from Portugal. Yeah, there's a documentary in process on the Church of Satan, done by the award-winning filmmakers of American Jesus, and they want to bring the world the concept of the Church of Satan, especially to their home country, where people are very conservative often and need to be shaken up. So they shot here at the Black House. We did a lot of interviews, and they've talked to a whole bunch of people, and the sort of pièce de résistance of the film will be this Nude Witch Review ritual. So it's going to be quite an amazing documentary, which will be premiered at a major film festival later this year.
Oh,
yeah.
Excellent.
And they already mentioned doing the Nude Witch Review at that festival, at least a piece of it or part of it, or some sort of something. So
everybody can get their asses to Portugal for that.
Yeah, that festival was in Barcelona. I think
It's on my list.
Yeah, dude, these
It's
guys.
It's actually a seacoast town, I think. I forget the name of it. It was one I didn't remember, but there's a major film festival there, and in a seacoast town. They said it's absolutely stunningly gorgeous, with amazing food, beautiful people, and it's a top-notch thing.
I will definitely be at that. Spain's my favorite European country for travel.
Do they plan on distribution of it in America or anything?
They already sold it. It's already been sold. This movie. It's not even done.
Yeah.
And they just need to sold it.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. They got distribution ready to roll. They just have to finish it.
Oh yeah, it'll have worldwide distribution. So
nice.
Yeah. No, I hung out with them this summer, as you did, Peter, and I made friends with these guys. They were really neat guys.
Yeah.
Cool. And then I called them as soon as I crystallized this thing. I said, "Hey, this is happening," and they were like, "We're there." They came right over.
Awesome.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like
it
just went perfect, right to plan.
It really did. And I'm going to be really honest. I've been doing shows forever. Every time I come up with an idea, I imagine it in my head, and then it never gets exactly there. It's either it's something different that I never expected, or it's not exactly it, but it's cool, right?
Or it exceeds it. Yeah.
This is literally one of the first times exactly how I saw it in my brain is pretty much exactly what happened. Verbatim.
Awesome.
That's very cool.
It actually came out what I imagined.
Manifested itself.
It really did. I mean, no, listen, I had help. Peter helped. Everybody helped. Everybody helped. I had so many members call me and say, whatever you need, I can do something. John, you helped with the PDF of something. Everybody reached out.
I can't count that, but go on.
No, but seriously, there was a lot of busy work that I couldn't do.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Andrew Ray's, a lot of these guys just reached out and said, "Yo, if you need help, day of show."
Yeah.
So one of our members did the door out of nowhere. He volunteered to help keep track of the door, people coming in. I mean, people stepped up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Bob was signing books too. That was the other thing.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we had a lobby with merchandise, and Bob did a book signing out there.
And I signed too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You did the forward. You were there. Magistra Ruth was there, and Bob. They were all there. So
very, very
whoever
cool.
got everybody's signature right there.
Well, we're jealous now. So,
yeah. No, totally. But let's.
But really, I thank everybody that helps because
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's great, man. Here's to your success with that. That's really awesome. Really very happy.
Yeah. No.
Dude, yes.
Let's give Adam a chance to maybe not speak and catch his breath a little bit, and we can talk to Peter about maybe the Devil's Reign 3. What do you think?
Ooh, can't wait.
Sure.
All right.
I listen.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah, well, uh, Andy Howell and I, ever since we did the first Devil's Reign, which was just sort of straight up way of exploring Anton LaVey's work of infernal names, that really got a lot of attention and shook a lot of people up and really brought a lot of talented people to the woodwork, famous people and not famous people together. We did the Psychedelic Blasphemy one for 2016, really as an homage to Tom and the Electric Club. And also, we had S. Clay Wilson involved and other people that were really major. And we got the great reunion and final performance of the Electric Health Club. So that was pretty astonishing. And as part of it, of course, too, was the nice bit of having my music remastered by Reverend Laverne for release. And then we had the Liquid Light show on YouTube. And we had the two different beers, the one from last year done and the new one. So, and then the clothing, the patches, which Adam has a set of too.
Nice.
And so we really had quite an event. So I actually have several ideas for several years to come. But because we're at a time now when it seems that giant monsters are really coming back in the cinema, that we would title this one The Devil's Reign Daikaiju, which is the Japanese word for giant monsters. And of course, their first one is Gojira, Godzilla from the mid-50s. And but the idea for this show is that really the giant monsters have been part of human consciousness as a way of explaining the forces of nature and the universe around them that terrify and that people can't in any way resist, that are just so powerful that it just sweeps them away. So when you think of floods and volcanoes and tsunamis and hurricanes and such, that our previous cultures have always found some kind of vast beings to personify these things, and they're always monstrous. When you go back to the Babylonian Tiamat, the chaos dragon, and that became Leviathan to the Hebrews, and the northern folks had Jormungandr, the world's serpent, and the Greeks had Typhon and Echidna, and they spawned all kinds of other monsters, the Gorgons among them. So we have all this great mythological stuff of giant monsters, and then when we look to the 50s, when we humans created something that it's as powerful as the forces of nature, that we found a way of unlocking nuclear explosions, that the terror that unleashed, it just sort of shredded the world's psyche. And so we got the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms coming by Ray Harryhausen, a giant sort of dinosaur creature that a nuclear explosion released from the polar ice cap, and the deadly mantis arose in the same way. And then we had Godzilla from the Japanese, and Gorgo, and then of course it started to get more fun and silly. You got Gara and all of his crew of monsters that with him, and then later on Eiji Tsuburaya, who did the special effects for Godzilla. He created the whole Ultraman thing with these sort of silvery, stylized heroes that fought all kinds of really bizarre and goofy giant monsters. And so it's like this wonderful tradition. And over time, it sort of played itself out. In 2008, they did the movie Cloverfield, which is sort of the ultimate found footage movie about a giant monster that comes to New York. And that was really based on trying to capture the terrors of 9/11, and it really did that quite well. But then it took a little bit of time. In 2013, Legendary did Pacific Rim with Guillermo del Toro directing, and with giant robots fighting giant monsters that were coming from an alien dimension was fantastic. Yeah. And they're in the middle of shooting the sequel right now. And then in 2014, Gareth Edwards brought Godzilla back from retirement and made one of the best Godzilla movies ever, with a Godzilla that looked real and alive, which is, we'd never seen a Godzilla that looked that convincing before. So that was phenomenal. And we're now waiting for March for Legendary to give us Kong Skull Island. And if you've watched the trailers for that, it's the biggest King Kong, and he's fighting all kinds of awesome monsters. And it's the same universe that their Godzilla is in, but it takes place in the 70s. It's kind of an apocalypse now meets giant monsters. So it's going to be an awesome film. And then they're already they're casting the Godzilla sequel right now. And once they get that done, they're kind of shooting back to back. They'll be then doing Godzilla versus King Kong. And
That's cool.
of course, in Japan, they brought Godzilla back for Shin Gojira. Shin Godzilla or Godzilla Resurgence came out last year. Did any of you guys see that?
I
I
did not.
haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it yet.
I wanted
No.
to see it.
Daisuke.
I had to find a medium, I guess.
Adam came with me to see they had a brief run in New York. It was in select theaters throughout the country, so we went and saw that.
Boy.
And it was pretty awesome. And it's really weird. It's one of the most screwy, bizarre Godzilla films ever done, because Godzilla has multiple forms that are kind of goofy and creepy, and it was wild. And it's a big political satire at the same time too. And it was the most successful Godzilla film ever released in Japan. It made many, many millions of dollars. And so Toho's already in process of making an animated sequel that's in the works now that takes place in the future. It's kind of a futuristic Godzilla movie. And they'll be then doing another live-action sequel to the movie that just came out. So we're going to have lots of giant monsters. There's a new movie called Colossal that was showing at film festivals. And it's kind of a satire movie where there's a strange giant monster in Korea that's actually a reflection of a woman and her personal issues and psyche. So whatever she does is reflected in the giant monster. So it's kind of an offbeat, weird film, but it does have a giant monster in it. And there's more. There's something called Monsterpocalypse being done. I think Steven Spielberg is producing that. So we're just in the new golden age of giant monsters. So we felt that this was the time to summon people up to give us giant monsters for our show and book. And but the challenge, they really have to be giant monsters. It's not like anything. You can't just do, like a drawing of the creature from the Black Lagoon or something.
Nope.
The creature is awesome, but it's not a giant monster. And you can't just pick something from mythology that's sort of a regular size monster. It has to be like a city buster, something that's like a hurricane or like a tornado or something really.
There you go.
Exactly. There we go.
Actually,
we
I have an
need that.
idea for a piece for it, so I'm pretty excited about it and seeing what other people could be doing.
Awesome.
Curious.
See, now the thing too is you can do portraits or reinterpretations of mythology or classic monsters from the movies, or invent your own. There's some people that I've been in touch with who are really good at creating their own kaiju and do illustrations and sort of graphic novels of them. So we're gonna have some really spectacular stuff in the show.
Oh, can't wait.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Other than, I know it's probably a little bit early to think, but obviously, like this year we had like the concerts going with it. Do you have any other ideas as far as maybe other things you want to incorporate with the Devil's Reign this year?
Yes, we do, and but we really can't say anything yet because we're still in negotiation stages on a number of things. So as soon as if that solidifies, we will be getting that out there to people. As of now, we have just our call to start summoning up great art, and but we've got some interesting ideas for where it may go and how it's going to be presented. So we'll start giving the exciting details as they become really confirmed, because we really don't want to blue sky people and then things fall through. It just looks like something was clumsy. But we got some great ideas, and I think some very cool stuff is going to come together to go with it.
All right.
So when
Can I tell you my idea off the record?
Oh yeah.
Don't put this out, John. I don't know why.
Of course, that's what off the record means.
I don't know what medium I want to use, but
The following has been removed because it is on a need-to-know basis. And right now, you do not need to know. Thank you.
Yeah, love it.
Awesome.
You're just the guy to do it.
I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I always go overboard, so I got to try and control myself this time.
Oh man, can't wait.
Yeah. So for the listeners that don't see it on Facebook or know about the announcement, when is the date for the next Devil's Reign 3?
We actually haven't set the exhibition date yet.
Okay.
I think the what did we do? I think we said April 29th or something, or I forget when. I'd have to look back on the website for when the submission deadlines are.
I think it's in May, actually.
Yeah, May.
The submissions are due the end of May, and we're really being tough on what's coming in. The works really have to fit the theme. That they have to be giant monsters, not just any monsters.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to good stuff for that.
Yeah.
And so there'll be another beautiful book like we had before.
Nice?
Yeah, I don't know what
It
that
sounds
is.
like a horn or something. Adam, what are you doing? You working on a magic trick with like a clown or something?
I'm getting dirty tech.
All right. I just hear like this horn or something, like a rubber
It's my
nose.
phone vibrating.
Yeah, it's like honk honk.
Yeah, it's like a pop, pop. Like, because it's like
you're
Peter's
getting
saying,
a
we have to really this time we really have to pop, pop. And I'm like, what is going on?
Wait, hold on, these
I think
idiots
we
are
have-
texting me.
Oh, it's Harpo is a kaiju is coming in, I think.
There you go again.
I kind of shut it off. Do I hit
Oh, so it
vibrate on silent?
Keep
There we
going.
go.
Oh,
I
it's,
fixed it.
oh, it's his dirty vibrator.
Yeah.
Yeah, my phone's vibrating.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a phone.
Godzilla-shaped vibrator.
Nice.
Oh, that I've never seen. That's new.
I'm sure they must have numerous ones in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And
would
of
make
course,
sense.
there's
but
those Mothra Benoit balls.
Mothra Benoit balls, Godzilla vibrators, and a fuckable King Ghidorah.
That's right.
Yes,
Wow.
King Ghidorah sort of becomes a giant vagina.
Oh man, think of that.
Tearing the
With 3
city apart.
clitori.
Never. You know what I ate last night for dinner? Oh my god! Did you see my
A vagina?
That come out of
Speaking of vagina, you know what I ate for dinner last night?
Listen to this. I went to dinner with 2 porn stars, and I ate. Listen to this. Bull dick. The actual dick part. Yeah, it was Japanese restaurant. It was on the menu, and I was like, I'm getting that.
Wait, was it like?
What?
Was it written in the menu, or it was just sitting there on the menu? What do you mean?
No, it was written on the menu. It said bull penis. It was in Japanese, and then underneath it said bull penis. It was $6. It was an appetizer.
Was it like obvious when it was served? Like was it on a plate like with 2 meatballs and like?
No, I
staring
mean,
at ya?
if you didn't tell me what it was, I literally would have been like, it's some sort of innard, but because it didn't taste like meat, it tasted like the carton pig's feet. That's what it tasted
Ew.
like. That cartilage taste.
Because it's just
Oh, it's
it's just blood vessels, right?
No, it was like cartilagey skin.
Huh.
It was delicious.
It's good to keep the yang up.
My 2 porn star pals tasted it, wouldn't eat it, and I ate the whole thing.
I'm sure you did.
I love bull dick. What am I gonna say?
All right.
Wow.
Did you put the whole thing in your mouth, or did you just take small bites?
Nibbles.
Nibbles. That's nice.
Yeah.
That feels. I mean, that's nice. You gotta.
I'm a note of kaiju. Kaiju.
Where's this restaurant so I know to stay clear of it?
Right.
St. Mark's, 8th Street. Peter, remember the Godzilla sushi joint in Manhattan?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they
That
turned
was
it to Monster Sushi because Toho sued them.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, actually, I'd try it. I'd try anything twice.
There you go. See?
That's it. That's my cutoff.
I try all foods except the only food I can't eat. There's only been one, and it's called natto. And Japanese people like to eat it for breakfast, but it's like a fermented bean that's really healthy but fucking disgusting. Can't eat it.
Yeah, they got different taste buds.
You put a dick in your mouth, but a fermented.
I know.
bean.
It's the bean. You're right.
Good one.
No, it's like the fermented bean has got a slime like that kid's toy slime.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like really ooh.
Just eat it.
Right.
Quit playing.
And
That's
my
awesome.
God, yeah, dude, Church of Satan people are doing crazy good stuff. It's like so much, it's hard to believe.
How do you go? You go from like vagina to eating a bull dick to how amazing Church of Satan members are. I love it.
No, it's like I just got hit in the head with like this.
There's
fact
something for everybody.
Yes,
really is.
absolutely.
No, but the fact that you guys have been doing these books, that Peter's curating. This is the 3rd one. It's amazing. There's 3 of them now. You know?
Pretty
Yeah,
soon.
and there'll be
yeah.
a 4th too.
Yeah, it's just
At the
so
release.
rad. That it's all this really productive art, and it's the cool thing I think too is like the people that aren't members. I mean, a lot of people read the Satanic Bible that never said, "Hey, I'm a Satanist," but they did get something out of it. You know, I know a lot of people that did that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the art that we're doing is like that too, where it is very affecting.
Yeah.
It definitely
Thought provoking and yeah.
Yeah, it really is. It's like it's good, you know. On the art scene, it's like pushing boundaries.
Awesome.
Well, also, the visual things are icons for people to get into, like again, doing the things with the original infernal names. It concretized a lot of stuff that people see that name in a book and go, well, I don't even know what that is. And some people don't bother researching any of them. So by having a compendium of them where you can have them visualized and by very creative people, it brought them to so much better life. And the psychedelic blasphemy thing was kind of fun in that it sort of took this visionary time that some people use just to drop out of society, but which with other people use to kind of make shattering visions and strange new artwork that really kind of changed visual art. Yeah. So that was pretty nifty to explore, and it was very blasphemous at the time, and we had a whole new crew of blasphemers. So that was kind of an awesome thing to do.
Absolutely.
Now we'll have monster makers. We'll have new summoners of giant monsters.
Excellent.
That'll be a great thing.
Yes.
With that
awesome.
giant-sized altars.
Oh yeah. No, and also I think Bob Johnson is going to be doing an event in Vegas coming up.
Oh,
April
I saw
1st. Yeah.
Yeah, what is that? He mentioned it to me before, and then I just got the email. It's a performance/workshop for his
seminar.
Well, I think it's going to be like a burlesque performance one evening. I think it's April 1st, and then on April 2nd, there will be a full-fledged like sort of educational seminar. That's kind of pricey, but that's kind of how seminars work.
Yeah.
It's going to be a twofold thing. Like
because the information is worth it.
Yeah, well, it should be, for folks. And he has a lot of insight, and it'll be kind of a hands-on thing where he'll talk, and there'll be questions and such. So I think people will really get a lot out of that. Yeah. But I think it's also for people, like a much broader community of folks. It's not just targeted to Church of Satan people. So it's going to be kind of an interesting thing in that aspect.
All right, well, gentlemen, thank you very much for all the info of what we are missed out on, unfortunately. But it sounds really like it was really cool, and we can't wait for more. And, of course, the upcoming Devil's Reign. We're very excited, and, again, appreciate you guys being here with us today.
Yeah, it was great
Thanks so much for having us.
It was great hearing you both speak on this, and the words you use really painted a great picture for us to kind of reminisce about it with you and live through it in our own way on the show. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Thanks for
all right, everyone. Till next time. Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.